So I'm 23, I'll be 24 this year, and I always been very neurotic. I always been very volatile in the sense that I get angry very easily. I am still pretty anxious and prone to negative thoughts, depression, not depression, not clean in the clinical sense, but I'm very prone to overthinking, rumination, and not feeling so good mentally. All right, this is something that I struggled a lot in the past. It's something I'm struggle right now, and I find luckily some ways in order to improve my mental health. I find some ways that help me to feel better on a day-to-day basis, and these habits I'm still doing them today. I'm not going to lie to you, I'm still struggling. It's not something that completely reversed my way of living, but it's something that helped me a lot to cope with stress, to cope with overthinking and rumination, and also kind of existential desperation. So listen here closely, because these are the 5 habits that helped me as a young man to cope with anxiety and overthinking. So the first habit is physical exercise. It's not really a habit that I developed because I started doing judo since I was a 7-year old, and I kind of never stopped. So I always liked to do physical activity and sports. It was always part of who I am, always part of what I do. So for me, doing physical activity, it was always very fun, always very rewarding, and it wasn't never a weight for it. Never was difficult for me to engage into physical activity. So I remember that when I was 15, and I was a very angry kid at the time. I was very angry. I was very easily triggered by everything. So the way that I used to cope with the thing was going out in the woods and running. A lot of running, a lot of Tabatas. If you don't know what Tabatas is, basically it's a circuit training when you do 20 seconds of an exercise, very, very high intensity, and then you then do 10 seconds of rest. And you do that for 8 rounds. Very brutal, very difficult to do, but I wanted to improve in my sport, and I needed to do that in order to not get crazy. So physical exercise, it's something that really saved me, okay, not helped me, it really saved me. And also right now, when I'm a little bit stressed, when I don't feel that good, going in the gym, lifting some weights, or going for a run, or doing some grappling matches, sweating a little bit, engaging into physical activity helps me a lot, because it puts you out of your mind and makes you focus on an external task, like lift that weight, run the distance, beat the shit out of this guy, okay? It gives you some external task that makes you focus out of your internal mind. And also it makes you sweat. It makes you have bodily sensation, makes you feel your body, and it puts your focus out of your internal mind. It makes you sweat your ruminations off. So engage in something physical, engage in something that makes you sweat, something that makes you feel good doing. It doesn't have to be weightlifting, doesn't have to be running, okay? It just has to be something that makes you feel better afterwards, all right? The habit number 2 that helped me was journaling. I started journaling in 2017. I was like 16 at the time, 16, 17, something like that. And I remember that my parents, for Christmas Day, they gave me Red Dead Redemption 2. And I remember that this game was fucking dope. I love the story, I love the characters, I love the world that was built around in this game. And I remember that the main character, Arthur Morgan, he has this journal when he was writing these thoughts. And you gotta imagine, if you haven't played Red Dead Redemption 2, you gotta think about this handsome, charismatic cowboy who is like very cool, very tough guy, but also that likes to write on his journal. And I thought, oh man, this shit is cool. So I wanted to try the journal as well. And I was like writing about my day. And I started to do that over time, but then I stopped. I started to journal again during my early 20s, because basically a girl rejected me. I was felt very very bad about it, and I wanted to write so that I could feel better. And what I've noticed is that the more I wrote about something that made me feel bad or anxious, and the better I felt. This is a technique, specific technique for that, called expressive writing. Basically, when you have something that makes you feel anxious or makes you that you feel bad or embarrassed about, you take a piece of paper and you write down. Don't think about grammar, don't think about making words that very clearly. Just write about it straight, no stop. Don't put your pen up, don't lift your pen up from the paper for 15 minutes, 4 days straight, and you will start to feel better about whatever you are mind wandering. Okay, this is a protocol called expressive writing. Go check it out and learn more about it, because it's very very worth. It helped me a lot. I still journal a lot. It's something that I probably can't live without journaling or writing in general. Something that makes me feel too good for not doing it. So the third habit, and now I'll become the most basic self-improvement YouTuber ever with these three habits: physical exercise, journaling. The third would be meditation. Trust me, the fourth and the fifth, it's not something that you would expect. The third habit would be meditation, and I started to meditating when I learned about Wim Hof. Wim Hof is basically this super athlete that was able to withstand very cold, extreme temperatures. And the technique that he uses in order to face these very difficult challenges for the body is about doing some breath work. He basically, I'm saying basically maybe too much, but what he does is he is hyperventilating. He's doing like okay, and he's exhaling and remaining with his lungs empty for a long period of time. Basically, he's following a protocol about breathing. And I learned about that. I thought, oh wow, this shit is very cool. I want to learn about it. And from there, I started to improve my meditation techniques. I learned more about meditation, the fact that there are different kind of meditation. There is focused meditation, there is open-minded meditation, a lot of different stuff. I tried, there is also body scans, yoga nidra, and all of this stuff. But what I learned and what I found very useful for me is focused meditation. So you either focus on your breath, you pay attention to your breath going in, going out, you try to hold your breath for a certain number of seconds, or there is external focused meditation. So you look at the point in the space and you stare at this point for as much time as needed. And every time that you lose your focus, you simply recenter yourself to what you're looking at or to your breath. Okay? This helped me a lot. This helped me a lot with reducing rumination. This helped me a lot with being more present into what I'm doing. It improved my ability to enter into the flow state, which is the optimal experience when you're completely absorbed into the task that you're having at your hand. And it improved every area of my life. There is very few things that have a high return on investment as meditation. So give it a try, absolutely. To be very fair, I'm going to tell you that in some very small percentage of population, you can have a psychotic break. But, well, it's not that likely. But seriously, give a try to meditation, because it can really, really help you. The habit number 4, and it's nothing that you would expect, is having a structured day. For especially anxious and neurotic people, having an unstructured day, it's something that is very, very bad for you. Waking up and not knowing what you need to do, not knowing how your day will go on, how your day will develop, it's something that is very detrimental to your mental health, because your brain doesn't like uncertainty. Your brain doesn't like thinking about, oh, what do I need to do now? What do I need to do next? It's something that is very stressing, because it leads to decision fatigue and it leads to more anxiety and inaction. So having a structured day helps you to know exactly what you need to do without any indecisiveness. And here I will give you a couple of tips in order to have a day that is as structured as possible. The first thing that you need to do, and I know it sounds counterintuitive or even offensive for someone, is to get a fucking job. Man, get a job or get any kind of commitment, because this at least will make you accountable, will make you responsible for something, and it creates a basic structure. It Having a job or any kind of commitment will structure your day for you. Okay, at least you know that you have a trigger for doing something before your job and doing something after your job. Having makes your day and what you need to do much more clearer. The second thing that you need to have is consistent wake up and bed times. I don't think I even need to explain that. The third thing is having meals at the same time, possibly with other people, so that you can share thoughts, you can be happier with your family, you can share food, crack a joke. It will be much more fun, basically, to have meals with same people, with different people. The fourth would be prepare your clothes the day before, so that when you wake up you don't have to think, oh, what do I need to put on? It's maybe this shirt or maybe that shirt. Who gives a fuck? Prepare the night before, and when you're waking up, just put it on and you're good to go. The five things is having a predictable morning routine or some kind of ritual, so that you can prepare yourself for your daily challenges. Having some kind of ritual that you perform every morning helps you to feel a sense of safety. It guarantees you to be more to have less anxiety for what will happen next. Okay, generally speaking, make your day as predictable as possible. If you struggle with anxiety, if you struggle with undecisiveness, make it as structured and less unpredictable as possible. And the habit number 5, these, by the way, number 4 is and number 5 are the ones that helped me the most. Number 5 is goal setting. I started to set goals for myself in the September of 2021. Basically what happened is that after the Tokyo Olympics, I saw the judo Tokyo Olympics, and I saw Shohei Ono, which is the GOAT in the judo. He destroyed all of his opponents, one after the other. He threw them like sack of potatoes around on the mat. And I saw that, and I felt really inspired by his performance. So I felt so inspired that I said, fuck, I want to become as good as I possibly can in my judo journey. And I started to train again. And after the first event coming up, after the summer, was a competition at the end of October. And I wanted to compete so bad in that competition. I want to do that. But the problem is that there wasn't my natural weight class, which was 73 kilograms. There was only the weight class below mine, which was the 66 kilogram. And I weighted 71 at the time, and I was already pretty lean, so I would have to do a very restricted diet in order to go down to that weight class. But I wanted to compete, so I started to reduce my caloric intake and train more in order to lose as much weight as possible. It was hard. I didn't thought I would be able to lose that much weight, but I tried anyway. And at the end of October, I stepped on the scale and I was 66. I was in a very bad shape. I was very thin. I was sleep deprived. I had a lot of thirst and hunger. I just wanted to eat and compete. I was very angry because when you eat that low, you start to become very irritable. You start to become very moody. But I want to tell you something. It was very worth it, because I stepped on the scale, I was able to compete, and I break a belief of mine. I did something that I thought was impossible, which was losing 5 kilograms while still being that lean. So having that goal in mind, automatically, it structured my day in a precise way, and every action was aligned towards only one thing, which was making weight. and I felt like shit because I was hungry all the time, I was cold, I was in a heavy caloric deficit. But on the spiritual side, I felt purposeful. I felt purposeful and I felt good because I have a clear direction. Every action that I was taking was making me, getting me closer or getting me farther from the goal that I set it into my mind. And getting closer to something, that period was one of the most meaningful that I ever felt in my life. And I'm still trying to feel my existence like I felt in that month of my life. I still trying to experience that clarity of mind once again. And I hope that you, with goal setting, with my information about how to structure your day, how to setting goals for yourself, you can actually feel what it's like to getting closer to something, to feel like every action have a significance. Okay, so here's my 5 habits that improved my mental health the most, which is physical activity, meditation, journaling, having a structured day, and goal setting. These are the 5 things that helped me the most. So if this guide help you, if you have any questions, if you have any informations that you want to have more, I left you my email here so that you can write me your thoughts, your personal story. I want to know more about you, so please let me know, write me, let me know about your problems, let me know about your concerns, and this is it. Hope that this video was useful. Remember to aim upward as always.